Right then, ring engraving. In order to do this on the IS200, you will need specific parts. You've got these here to hold your ring, and you've got the actual ring engraver itself. It is always best practice to have a load of olives if you can, or old rings or whatever, just to practice on before you actually do the actual ring, because it is confusing on the computer when it shows you the orientation. It looks like it's wrong, so it's always best to do it on an olive so you can work out where the centre is and everything before you actually engrave on the customer's ring. Right then, setting up the IS200, easy enough. Swap over the jigs. There we have it. As it stands, that is set up for tankards and stuff. So we need to take off the end and change it. Take this off, undo the screws on here and pop these on. Right then, so now that's set up by there, you need to take off your engraving and pop this one on. Try and iron up down the centre so it's straight. In the menu there should be a auto ring engraving folder. Inside there you've got your inside and you've got your outside ring engraving, different millimeters. We're going to go on the inside and we're going to go 2mm. When it loads up, it'll obviously show a little dot in the middle. That'll be the centre of your ring. And you've just got engraving sample. We'll just leave it at that for now. We're going to go with this small olive. So you trap this now because you're engraving on the inside. You make sure the prongs on here are on the outside of the ring. If you need to adjust the holes, adjust the holes. In order to make sure it's at the end and flush, what I normally use, just a straightforward pet tag. Tap that on the end and just push the ring out till it's flush with it, and then tighten it up. That way you know it's nice and flush. So we're just going to go ahead and engrave just the engraving sample. As I said earlier, it gets a bit confusing with Banj Dash and the orientation. Not sure if you can see, but on here it selects the ABC on the right but back to front, so it looks a bit awkward, but it's right. Don't want the motor on, obviously, because that's not going to spin. I normally set it at 8 and 0.3 for pretty much everything. You want it at a slow speed. Like I said, no motor. Send it over. Get it ready, and then we can adjust the height and stuff. Now we'll go to the centre. Okay, because the dot there in the middle should be, press 1, 2, 3 up here. It should say which is engraved first, and it's the dot first, I do believe. So that will go to the centre now. So what you want to do is you just want to bring the jig up, across there a bit, bring it up, and then you can slide it in. Set it down. Do your best to try and get it as centred as you can. Once you've done that, you can press the tick. Then we can press the button and we should go back and start engraving. That's stopped now at the beginning, so now we can just press the button and give it a go. When you set it down, do it so it's touching, and then just tap it another two times and you should be alright. You can always adjust the Z from here. I tend to loosen it here, but then if you need to add more tension you can just do it on the fly. So this now will do the dot first, then it'll go to the beginning. There you are, go to the beginning now. There we have it, as it's engraving now. We can see it engraving. We can keep an eye on it. We can make sure it's level. We can make sure it's center. We can add a bit more pressure if we need to. But it should just be a one take. Like I said, always practice on an olive first, so you can work out where the center is and you know, and center the writing in between the ring and everything. Keep in mind when you're using the letter G, it will be a bit lower as well. All right, so keep in mind leaving a gap. Now that's just engraving the engraving sample. There we are, now that's finished engraving. Taking it off, and you can have a look at it then, and it's nice and centre. Now I can't really show you much because I've got quite a bit of engraving on it, but with regards to these as well, make sure you practice before you do the customer's ring on the olives, because some certain fonts will start in different places. I know the Roman 4L, excuse me, I know the Roman 4L, when it starts engraving, when the needle goes down, that is the top of the letter. So basically, that's the top of the letter, so you can work from there. Other fonts are different, like script and stuff could start halfway down the letter, and then if you align that to the top, it's just gonna be wrong. It's just gonna be engraved off the ring. So like I said, always best practice on an olive first, make sure it's spot on, then do the ring, because you don't want payouts. Apart from that, can't think of anything else. Enjoy.